Hello, I am the Warhead Chicken. This is the first video on my channel. Hopefully you're able to hear my voice right now and see pictures on the screen of, I don't know, a turtle. I'll put a turtle on the screen, and then a fish, and then a penguin, and then Keanu Reeves, and then something else. I don't know. We'll throw something completely out of the blue, possibly a big blue screen, just to make sure that it's all working. Okay, essentially what's happening is I'm just testing out that I can put videos on YouTube using the various bits of software I've been trying to use, some open source, some Windows. Just trying to make sure they're all getting on nice and happily together and all uploading as a happy little family as opposed to going off in huffs with each other and breaking my videos. Anyway, since you're here, you may as well get some sort of information out of this. So, what I'm essentially going to be doing is reviewing movies on this channel. That's not exactly original. Every monkey with a Windows Movie Maker and a cinema ticket these days is telling us what he thought of X-Men Origins Wolverine and how he hated the CGI claws and all that kind of stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, the fact that there's so many people out there now voicing their opinions to the internet is probably a good thing. I mean, it gives us much more variety in the kind of opinions we want to hear. It makes critical consensus much less likely and much more impressive when it occurs. And, you know, admittedly, it's not always a good thing. Probably the fact that they listen to the fans so much is the reason Spider-Man 3 was such a tremendous crock. But anyway, you may as well get a review out of this as well. Let's say The Devil's Advocate. I'll review that. That was on TV last night, but just to give you another little insight into the channel, essentially my gimmick, not everybody has a gimmick, but I have a gimmick because nobody watches the channel because the channel doesn't exist yet when I'm recording this, and you may well be the very first person ever to watch this video in the entire history of the human race ever, so I need something to sort of hook people in, possibly, I don't know. My gimmick's going to be that I'm reviewing entire series in order, as well as, you know, just reviewing something I happen to see on TV or saw in the movies or have a DVD of or whatever. I'm going to be reviewing to start off the entire James Bond series in order, starting on Doctor No, moving all the way up to Quantum of Solace, and hopefully finishing before Bond 23 comes out, because that would be even more expensive. The reason I've chosen Bond to start off with is essentially there's now, 22 films long, so that gives me plenty of time to refine what I want to do here, listen to feedback, you know, fine-tune it all, so that when I start, say, going to town on the Highlander series, I've got things down to essentially where I want them to be with this channel. So yes, a review. I promise you a review of The Devil's Advocate. Well, here it is. Al Pacino's in this movie. He plays Satan and a lawyer. He's Satan who is a lawyer. He's essentially the head of this evil law firm, and Keanu Reeves is a lawyer who sounds like a surfer dude, but he's supposed to be from the Bible Belt, but he sounds like a surfer dude doing an impression of a guy from the Bible Belt, because, you know, you cast Keanu Reeves, you get what you pay for. And Keanu has to make a moral choice between defending a very, very evil man and going with his conscience and not defending a very, very evil man. But he decides to defend him and does a bad thing in doing that, so that means that he now can go off and work for Al Pacino, because he's a fantastic lawyer, and he goes off to work with Al Pacino's law firm of other fantastic but frankly evil lawyers, and it all looks like it's going horribly well, but in a sort of kind of evil way. And Keanu has a wife, and she's, you know, doesn't like that she can't see him anymore, and all her friends are actually demons, and they go out clothes shopping, and their faces melt, and it all goes horribly wrong. And Al Pacino says, "Go be with your wife," and Keanu says, "No, dude, I have to finish the case." And then Keanu has to make a choice again between good and evil. It looks like he's going to make the bad choice and create the Antichrist and end the world. And in fact, at the end of the movie, he kind of makes the good choice, and I thought they were kind of screwing me over, because I was actually on the devil's side with this movie. I was on Al Pacino's side. I thought he kind of had a point. He was admittedly a bit evil, but, you know, he was always giving people a chance out. He was never trapping them. He had a big thing about free will. You know, he essentially ends the film on a 15-minute monologue with Keanu Reeves occasionally giving impromptus in which Al Pacino essentially persuades you that the devil is the greatest person to ever live. And it's a pretty big achievement when you consider that this is a Hollywood movie. How the hell they got that past the studio, I have no idea. And so anyway, and then Keanu makes the good choice at the end of the movie, it looks like, but then there's a really nice little scene at the end where it turns out that, in fact, it's all very ambiguous, and Al Pacino is actually always there, because the devil's always there. He's always in the back of your mind, because the devil's actually your instincts as opposed to any sort of evil thing, and, you know, there's the whole conflict between morality and basic instincts and so on, but not in a Paul Verhoeven kind of way. And yeah, it's a pretty cool movie. Go see it. And the only really bad thing I could point out about this film is that there's way too many special effects in it. For a film about the devil, I never thought I'd say this, but cut all well, no, cut 90% of the special effects out of this film, especially out of the last 15-minute monologue with Al Pacino persuading you that the devil is actually a hero, and it wouldn't make the film substantially better. But regardless of that, I would still recommend you see this movie. It's pretty cool. You can pick it up pretty cheaply on DVD these days. A well-told story, a very interesting look at the devil and the nature of religion, all this kind of stuff, and capitalism and all that. Consumerism is kind of evil, but also kind of what we were always meant to do, and all that kind of thing. It's a very interesting film, very well done. Go see it. It's not the greatest movie ever made, but there's much, much less entertaining ways to spend a couple of hours. That's been my review of The Devil's Advocate, and expect a slightly shaky review of Dr. No from me in the future. Apologies in advance for the jumpy sound quality on that one. Hopefully that should be ironed out by the time we get to From Russia with Love. And yes, you will be hearing from me soon if you ever return to this channel, or if you should happen to feel like it, you should ever happen to say subscribe to the channel with that little button up there. You know the one, the little yellow one. Mark subscribe. Click it now, or flaming demon Al Pacino will eat your brains.
Hello, I love you, won't you tell me your name? Hello, I love you, let me jump in your game. Hello, I love you, won't you